Hello everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome to our channel. Today, let me come a little bit closer so that you can hear me even better. Today I want to continue with another video for the yoga myths, And in this occasion, we're gonna address the myth that yoga is just a physical exercise, you know. And this is something very extended in the West because the physical part of yoga. Notice that I'm saying the physical part of yoga. That means that there are other parts, right? So the physical part of yoga, it is what it has been brought more to the West, and what has been commercialized the more, you know. So it is quite understandable that a lot of people think that yoga is just exercise. Yoga is just a workout and that's it. But that's just one part of yoga. And yes, you can choose if you wish to focus only on that part, but it's not really ideal because you won't get really the whole yogic experience. So let us elaborate a little bit more here on what yoga is, right? So I've been addressing this already in other videos about yoga, right? What yoga really is, it's not a workout, it's a lifestyle and it's a science. It's a science, yeah. And science are more complex than just workouts, right? So it's a science to blossom human potential. And as humans, we have so many sides to ourselves, right? We have our intellect, we have the physical aspect, we have the emotional aspect, we have the spiritual aspect. So we have all those different aspects in our being, and then layers, layers to those different aspects, if we think about our intellect, we have memories, that we have our thoughts, right? Emotions, we have memories that we have accumulated, through past experiences. That's why when we go to a place or we smell something, sometimes not very pleasant memories and feelings get evoked in us, right? That's because those are all different layers associated to us. So it is important to understand this fundamental, because based on this we will then understand how wonderful is yoga, because yoga works on all these different aspects of ourselves. So the physical one is just one of them, and sometimes there will be instances when we won't be able to work a lot on the physical aspect of yoga, but we still can do yoga. We can do meditation, like me now. I'm recovering from a knee surgery, and though I do a little bit of physical yoga, especially for the upper body, to stretch and to ensure, that my back muscles don't get weak. I'm not doing like sun salutations now or facing dog, because I cannot be on my right foot. So I cannot do that. I cannot do the asanas. Let's say the majority or almost all of the regular asanas that we want, that we know from the West, especially. But I can still practice yoga, and I still do practice yoga. Of course, I can do that yoga which only affects that part of my body it's now mobile, that has full mobility, like the upper body. I can just do a small yoga series for the upper body, where I combine as well the breath, for instance, the meditation. So notice I mentioned breath meditation. So this means that yoga is much more than just physical exercise. It's much more than just the workout. You have the meditation part. So meditation is also part of yoga. You also have the breathing. There are breathing exercises, yogic, called yogic breathing exercises, that can help you. It can help you to feel much better, to, to develop your potential intellectually. You can use breathing exercises when you are anxious, before a meeting or before an exam. I used to do this a lot when I first started yoga in the 90s. I would use some breathing exercises to calm myself before. I will use mudras, the position of the hands, because position of the hands, they have an effect on our body, on our emotions, and I will do those ones as well. So those elements are also part of yoga. Also, when we read, when we read wisdom, but yoga scriptures, so wisdom related, to devotion to God, to the divine, where our souls gets connected to God. So that's also part of yoga. And doing service, doing selfless service, seva, when you just put your time, your energy, and your effort to the service of others, like I'm here to help you, or how can I help you? Here I am, and just use me. Just use me for whatever you need, and it can be, sometimes I volunteer at my church, just welcoming people in the welcome team. I haven't lately been able to do that, but many other things, when you go on a yoga retreat, and you help in the kitchen, or yoga teacher training as well, you help, in the kitchen, collecting leaves, or cleaning the yoga hall. It's all part of yoga. It's all part of yoga. And we should practice those elements of yoga to be, to be yogis. Not just to be, yoga asanas practitioners, but really to be yogis, and to really embrace yoga as a lifestyle, because our lives, have different phases, different journeys, different instances. And as I say, there may be an instance, or days even, you may have days when, oh, I'm so tired today. I need to rest a little bit from doing asanas, but you can still meditate. Meditate actually every day, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon. I'm gonna do a video here about meditation. So yeah, yeah. Let us always continue practicing yoga to become yogis, not just to become, perfect at exercising asanas. The asanas are very important, and they should be really paid importance, and diligent work, or diligent, not work, but diligent. One should, make an effort, or really study the asana, see how they are performed, because with the asanas, we are not just doing movements, we are doing, specific postures that will have a specific effect on our body. So we need to ensure that the way we execute those postures, and if you are a yoga teacher, the way you instruct other people to execute those posture must be a way that will be completely beneficial to them, and will bring the highest benefits. Because remember, whenever we do yoga, whenever we teach, even yoga as teachers, we are creating a healthy space, a place where people can heal, physically, sometimes mentally. So asanas, the physical part, is just one part of yoga. So I hope I clarified this myth for you, and I hope I encourage you to not just be an asana practitioner or yoga practitioner, but really be a yogi. Okay. So thank you very much for watching this video, and see you in the next one. Bye.